Hi everyone, Suzanne Davis here, author of The Appointed Hour, university professor. Welcome to the YouTube channel, How to Create a Writer's Life. This week we're talking about character. It's a big subject, so the videos will be broken into two. This first week, the fundamental aspects of character, and then the next video will be about complicating character. So even within this first video of character, we can break those fundamental aspects into two parts. The first being the surface parts of character, the things we can see, the direct ways in which we create character. And then secondly, the more in-depth things. So let's talk about the first things first, your character's appearance. We know as readers the thing we hunger for when we meet a character. What do they look like? What are they wearing? How old are they? What gender? All of those things. What kinds of interesting gestures or tics does your character have? Those things always make for interesting characters. How does your character speak? The dialogue is a huge revealer of character. And when we listen to the way people speak, uh, we know that it isn't fluid. And so how to create that dialogue on the page to reveal character. We'll have a whole video, at least one, on dialogue itself, but fundamentally how your character speaks with a high or low diction helps to reveal who they are. In addition to that, your character's inner thoughts and feelings. It seems obvious to us when we're writing because we're living with our characters, and I'm certainly guilty of this sometimes, thinking that it's obvious how my character's thinking and feeling when it's not. So I've trained myself how to go back and look for places where the character is inviting me to actually put on the page an inner thought or feeling, and it always does help contribute to making that character compelling on the page. That's related then to action. Your character's actions reveal who they are, and their inactions reveal who they are. So you might think about this in terms of what's going to happen in your story, that sometimes your characters will do something completely contradictory to who they are. That makes them interesting. More to say about that when we get to the complicating characters video. So moving to part two, in this video about the fundamental aspects of character, this is where I think that characters become really interesting and compelling on a page when we ponder something called the character's object of desire. If you want to read more about this, Robert McKee in his book Story talks about character's object of desire in a really brilliant way. But let me just say, the character's object of desire might seem like something on the surface as simple as a pair of sneakers, a fancy car, a house in the right neighborhood. But those things are always attached to something much deeper underneath the surface that drives the character. And that's the thing that every story is kind of getting at. Is the character going to get their object of desire or not? And you can do this for your main character, who would be called a protagonist, and for their direct sort of adversary, if you will, called the antagonist, and for the ancillary characters who might also be important to your plot. So it's interesting to come up with these, to spend enough time with the characters to know them this way. So the object of desire really helps to complicate the character. And then purpose, which of course is related to the object of desire. Your character may have a purpose in their life and a purpose for the story, and one may be just a sliver of the other. So it helps to think about these things. When I'm creating characters, I like to do little exercises, so I thought I would offer this to you. I like to take my character to kindergarten, their first day of kindergarten, with their lunchbox, which I don't really even know if kids use lunchboxes anymore, but for my exercise, this works. What kind of lunchbox would your character bring to school, and what would be in it, and who would they sit with at the table in the cafeteria? You may never use this in the story, but that aspect of childhood can be so key to who a character becomes or has the potential to become, that it infuses your knowledge of how to develop your character in a really interesting way. Or you can put your character at the dinner table and tell a scene of the funniest dinner conversation that ever happened there. You get the idea. So I'd like to leave you with that invitation to an exercise. Today we've talked about character in a direct manner through their appearance and the way they talk, and the way they act. And we've talked about the deeper aspects of character that make characters compelling, which include their object of desire and their purpose. So if you have liked this video, please share it, like it, comment on it, subscribe. Look for the next video to be about complicating character, so taking it up one notch. And I hope you'll be writing. 300 words a day will get you there. All right. Bye.